We are very careful with words. We try to name ideas and concepts in a way which communicates most accurately to one another and our neighbors. However, we recognize that language is dynamic, not static. New situations and new conversational partners require language to be negotiated and clarified. Not a big deal here, except that it is a big deal. It's pretty simple, and that is that language is the tools with which we communicate. And if we're not communicating, then we need to maybe use some different tools. And language is a wonderful thing, but you can't assume that just because you use a word a particular way that everyone else is using it that way. And we had folks that we use words differently, and they'd run to the dictionary and say, well, this is not, well, wait, there's like 5 different ways in which that word's used. Well, I mean, but this is the way most people use it, and we were having all these, and it didn't matter what the dictionary said. At the end of the day, what matters is, are we understanding together the same idea in the same way? And that was a little bit of a shift, especially around the word individual and personal and private and salvation and a whole bunch of other words.
Yeah, and that's something that people in decent academic circles do, is they say, here's a word I'm going to use and here's how I'm going to use it. This is different than the way this person uses it and this person uses it, but I'm going to use it this way. And it's really helpful because they're able to communicate what it is they're thinking and how what they think differs from how somebody else thinks. But for a lot of our folks, if we try to help people to think about what the word they're using means to them, it's a difficult concept. Not to necessarily define it, but just to describe how you're using it. So we think it's really helpful for people to think about the words they use and maybe learn a new word.
Mm-hmm.